On April the 14th, 2021, FC Goa players walked out at the Fatoda Stadium to face Qatari side Al Rayyan in the AFC Champions League West Zone group stage. What followed was a remarkable story of resilience and courage. It was a historic day in Indian club football as it marked the first time an Indian club has competed in the AFC Champions League group stage, Asia's premier club competition. They were placed in Group E along with Al Rayyan SC of Qatar, last season's finalists Persepolis of Iran, and UAE heavyweights Al Wahda. Before the group stage had even begun, many predicted that Juan Ferrando's men would not even get a single point in the group stage. Such was the huge difference in quality, squad depth, and most importantly, experience in the competition. To put into perspective, Al Rayyan's squad was worth 4 times that of FC Goa, but there were even bigger reasons why people thought that FC Goa would have a really tough time in the group. FC Goa had qualified for the AFC Champions League by finishing top of the table in the 2019-20 season and winning the Indian Super League League Winners' Shield. A huge exodus of players and coaching staff followed after that. Head coach Sergio Lobera, captain Mandar Rao Desai, playmaker Hugo Bumo, midfielder Ahmed Chahu, centre-back Motada Fall, and winger Jackie Chand Singh had all left for Mumbai City FC. Other prominent players include Manveer Singh to ATK, Chinglen Singh to Hyderabad FC. They had even let go of their top scorer, Ferran Coromines, as a free agent. Although Goa did bring in a very good coach in Juan Ferrando and made some great signings like Jorge Ortiz, Igor Angulo, Ishan Pandita, Lan Martins, Dheeraj Singh for the 2020-21 season of the Indian Super League, they were nowhere near the team that finished top of the table the previous season and could only manage a 4th placed finish, 9 points behind league winners Mumbai City FC. They would again fall to Mumbai City FC in a penalty shootout in the semi-final of the Indian Super League playoffs. All this considered, no one would have ever expected that FC Goa were going to put up a performance in the AFC Champions League that no Indian football fan will ever forget. In their first game against Al Rayyan, Goa had a really tough time, especially in the first 15 minutes. The Qatari side dominated possession and had more shots on goal. But the Gauls' organized defensive performance nullified their attempts. The game finished 0-0, and Goa got a historical first point in the AFC Champions League. In fact, they could have even won the game if the referee had given a handball when one of Goa's crosses struck the hand of an Al Rayyan defender in the penalty box. Al Rayyan's coach Laurent Blanc was extremely impressed by the Goan outfit's resilient performance and had praised them in the post-match press conference. Goa would continue their amazing form when they faced Al Wahda in the next group stage game. In fact, the Gauls were much more threatening in attack this time. This game too would end in a 0-0 draw and Goa would get their second point of the campaign. On matchday 3, Goa would face their toughest test so far when they faced last season's finalists Persepolis of Iran. But to everyone's surprise, Goa would take the lead early on in the game. Edu Bedia would latch on to a brilliant ball from Brandon Fernandes and score Goa's first goal in the AFC Champions League through a header. However, the joy was short-lived as Persepolis equalized very soon through a penalty. Before Goa could reset properly, the Iranians scored their second goal through their captain Jalal Hosseini. To add to the woes of the Gauls, skipper Edu Bedia got his second yellow card of the campaign, which ruled him out for the next game. The Gauls would play the Iranian side again in the next game, This time, however, they couldn't be as competitive as last time. The absence of Edu Bedia and goalkeeper Dheeraj Singh severely affected their performance. Persepolis steamrolled FC Goa to a 4-0 win in the game in which goalkeeper Naveen Kumar had made some costly mistakes. Moving into the fifth match day, Goa could still make it to the round of 16 as one of the best three runners-up in the West Zone if they could somehow win against Al Rayyan and Al Wahda in the next two games. Goa had almost managed to get away with all 3 points against Al Rayyan thanks to a goal from Jorge Ortiz, but an 89th minute tiebreaker from a substitute Ali Faridun meant that Goa could only get a draw, much to the dismay of the Goan camp. Going into the final match day, it was clear that Goa could no longer qualify for the round of 16. Goa were also without their foreign players as well as head coach Juan Ferrando, as all of them had been advised to fly back home immediately in view of the new travel policies of the European countries and others with regard to travellers from COVID-gripped India. Although the All-Indian 11 with mostly uncapped players fought valiantly, they couldn't stop a 2-0 defeat to Al Wahda, who had high-quality foreigners and UAE internationals in their lineup. Now, Goa had finished in third place in the group with 3 points ahead of Qatar's Al Rayyan. When you take a look from the outside, it might look like a failure, but there's always more to the story. FC Goa had led the way for all Indian clubs in the future. They showed that not only can Indian clubs compete against Asia's elite, but can also overwhelm them at times. There was also the emergence of young talents like Glenn Martins, Brandon Fernandes, and Dheeraj Singh. Dheeraj Singh in particular was phenomenal. He had made an incredible 26 saves in 5 games, the most by any goalkeeper in the group stages. He had also been named in the team of the match day twice, as well as receiving the man of the match award once. Goa may have only managed to finish third in the group, but they have spread a fire in Indian club football, one which was never heard of before, and one which keeps on burning in the hearts of every Indian football player and fan.